There's no turning back now. We're in this together. Welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Adam. My channel is called Coding Things IRL because that is what I do most days. And we are here today on a mission. We are creating the world's first, as far as I'm concerned, 3 JS Lite Brite game. And we're almost there. Today we'll be starting a series. Probably a little late to start a series. But you know what they say, better late than never. This is episode 1. It's called The Beginning. And I want to tell you about all the things that we've done so far with this Lite Brite game. So we started out with 0 experience with 3 JS and very little experience with 3D rendering in general. And the first thing we did was create some shapes, rectangles, and then the second thing that we did was create this 3D object, the casing, in Blender. Then the rest of it was struggling with the bloom effect. That took a long time. Then we struggled a lot with the placement of the pegs, and we're still struggling with that. Now we're struggling with erasing the pegs. On the last stream, I spent a lot of time looking at what went wrong. And I now know what went wrong. Yesterday was broken up into 2 streams. In the first stream we made this commit. Remove peg incomplete. And this commit creates 2 different functions. Add shape and remove shape. When we right click, we call remove shape. When we left click, we call add shape. Remove shape eventually ends up in this function where it calls the remove function, which we also created, for every shape. This is where I think that the wrong turn occurred. We don't need to do that. We're already returning a list of pegs, and I assume that each peg will at least have the same representation if the mouse is in the same spot. let's see if that's true. I'm going to roll these back because I think they represent a wrong turn. This is a very painful moment for me because this means that all of yesterday's work, which was about 5.5 hours, is gone. So I didn't mean to do that. Revert. So, starting anew with a new idea. The new idea is similar to the old idea. We're going to have the two different functions. The difference will be that we are only going to be filtering on the remove function, not using the spread operator to add more to the array. And I think that can work. Today I don't have the chat up. I'll pull it up. I wonder what that is. Here's me. Okay. It didn't look like anybody's here. What's the matter? You don't want to code at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday? What's the matter with you? Just kidding. Pop it out anyway. Just in case. And then on over to YouTube. See if we got any activity on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Oh, hi. Adita Singh. What are we making? Same thing. Lite Brite game. Next.js. Or 3JS, rather. Yeah. Alright, let me pop this guy out. And we gotta find a place for this. I think I can go back to my old setup. What happened is my laptop died. And, yeah, I'm currently just looking for a way to place everything on the chat so I can see it. Alright, perfect. Alright, what are we gonna do? Alright, so the idea is that we are going to filter. So we're going to have to do a couple things over again because I did revert all the work. One thing is this can't be a click event anymore. This has to be mouse down. Everything else I think is pretty fine on main. Let's see. The state history, yeah, that works great. Yeah, and then it goes into handle main, handle it. And so we're passing an event down that way. So in this function, handle it, this is where we're going to have to fork. Alright, so add shape at mouse, blah blah. We're going to create a remove function. Let's see, I don't think that's right. I do think clear all previews is probably a good thing to do. And then let's do const shape equals draw shape. Oh, no. It's not gonna work. So we have to go into draw shape. This is where we have to make the big change. So on that level, we'll have to give a argument here, which is removing. I don't like removing. I'll do adding again. So we'll pass in false for removing the shape. We don't have to pass anything for the other one. And we're not doing const here, we're just doing return. Alright, and then this is the important part right here. We'll go if adding, then we'll return this stuff. I don't know what all that was. And then we have two ways we could do this. We could let this fall through, or we could have an else. I'm going to use the else because it makes it on the same level. It's easier to read. And we'll use the filter function to filter out the pegs. Let's see if that works. We need to do one more thing. You know, some days are just better than others for software development. Some days things just don't work, and some days they do work. Today feels like one of those days where things are gonna just work. It's probably a mindset, to be honest. That says 0. And this was a right click that I just did. What does it say? What number? Still 0. Okay, so we must be using the wrong event. I thought I did. I thought I changed it to mouse down, and I did. But event.button is returning the same thing every time. Let's just console log event and see what we get. It's 2 fires. It should definitely not be 2 fires. But here we are. We have button. Nothing. I'm gonna look this up. Context menu, huh? We could try that. Okay. So we can change this back to click. Interesting. We need another function. We'll change this one to context menu. Yes, we do want that like that. Alright, let's see if it works. No, it looks like we have an issue. No errors, but just stopped working. Maybe it's not going to be a good day. Man, that all looks right to me. Let's take this back. Just this one. No? I just don't even know. Something there probably. Oh, the dirty. Okay, that's what it was. We forgot the dirty. There we go. For that one, we gotta do is dirty. And apparently there's more. Alright, let's take it back then. Oh. Well, that's annoying. So that might have been working. Yeah, okay, that was working. Okay. Whenever I have the Chrome console open, it doesn't get the mouse position correctly. It's alright. Okay. Alright, so in theory I should be able to go back on main too. Alright, sweet. Control Y works. Alright, so right now what's happening is the right click is calling the wrong function, I think. I can confirm that. I'll just put an alert on handle main. Actually, no, I'll put an alert on the other one, handle remove main. And this will tell me if I'm actually calling this function. I don't think I am. Oh, we are. Okay, cool. 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 That's good news. That means we can go away from this file. Bye-bye. And we can go in here and try to see what's going on downstream here. So here we are returning draw shape with a false as the adding. And this should be returning this. But starting to think that returning this doesn't even damn matter. I think somewhere else is getting assigned to the array. See that? Doesn't matter. I don't even know what happens with this. Oh, okay, look. So what, we're not adding, anyway, where were we? Right there. So if we do return a blank array there, so this must be true. Somehow. I don't know how that's getting to be true, but it has to be. If I do this, this should also not work anymore. Yep. So that means that is where the magic is happening. So how are we passing in true for adding here? I see it clearly being passed in as false here. How is that happening? How is that even possible, you know? Oops, I got the chat covered up again. You're gonna see some trues in the console. We got a false though. We got one false. But it's followed by a whole bunch of trues. Let's see that and the is preview. Let's see, adding and is preview. Not new pegs, I don't care. That should be pretty much the same every time. These two, adding and is preview, are the deterministic ones that I'm looking at right now. So I did all that. Dang it, I wish you could just see it. If I remove the array, can I just see it? Yeah, okay, perfect. That's way better. So I think what I'm getting here is true false and then followed by two true trues. And that time I just got true. Alright. So what I think is happening is this context menu. It works, but the other one is also firing. I guess a safer way to do that would be to use a different button, just for now. Yeah. No. Yeah, it doesn't like that because of that. And that's not valid here. Because that would not be our target. Yeah, that looks better right there. That should make it to where it's not going to fire the other event. Just for the sake of, you know, seeing it. anything in the old console there. We got true trues. Here, let me clear that. Clear the console. And back to the console. True, true. Just a bunch of trues. Alright, so I am getting into this function, right? Bunch of true trues. Oh no. Nope. Not getting into this function at all. What are we missing then? You just call it a function, right? But I think it gets the mouse position from the event. I don't think it's able to do that. Let's see. I don't know. That should be removing. That looks good. Do we have anything in the console? Bunch of true trues again. Is that all we're getting? We got true false right there. Way up in the beginning, maybe. But that one, not even. That's all just a bunch of true trues. No, we can't have a bunch of true trues. What's going on there? Alright, so we go to handle remove on renderer. And then we call the remove shape. Then we go right into here and we pass false, false. Not even true, true, just false, false. Let's do another alert and make sure we're getting into there. Although, I mean, you're seeing the same code I'm seeing. But I don't see no alert. I don't see it at all. Do you? I don't see it here. Man, I don't know what. This is a function that we are importing. And we are calling it here. I get to do that as a string, actually. Let's console log the event and the state. Well, they're not undefined. Okay, that's not the issue. Let's go into the handle remove function. Oh, here we have another target check. Yeah, we don't want that. Alright, good. So now we are getting into our function right here where it says removing, which is good. But I don't see it removing the peg, which is bad. Let's go ahead and clear all this nonsense out. Alright, there we got false, false, followed immediately by a true, true. That's correct. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. We use control click to remove. So as long as you're holding control, it'll be removing pegs for you. And that'll simplify it for me, I think, given the way that I have it set up. So here, if we're holding control, we'll be removing the event. And then over here, we'll do the refire if we're not holding control. And we just got to get rid of this event right here. And we still have an alert on the removing, so we can test if that works. I thought we did. It looked like it did work because the preview went away. Here, let's see. I just want to make sure I'm getting into this function. Yeah, okay, good. Dang, okay. Getting into it 1,000 times. That's probably bad, huh? We'll see. It looks like it's going away, but I think it's just jerking the camera around. Yeah. How does it work for a big shape? Ah, I see what's going on. And now those are untracked. Oh no, they're not untracked, but they were untracked at certain levels. Alright. We do need to use the spread operator here. And we're going to need to use map instead of filter. I'm not sure what was the old method of filtering, but it was working. New pegs includes peg. No, I don't like that at all. How is it doing the other one? It's using the... There's an undo function right here. It's using the UUID. I don't think that's going to work. We're going to need to compare the positions of the pegs. Alright, what's the issue? Syntax error. There we go. Not working. Simplify it a little bit. A lot of it. And errors? No errors. That's good. Okay. Simplify it with the map function. Like that. Still no errors. That's good. This might be what does it. Yep. Undefined. What's undefined? Peg. Or it's naming the same thing. Okay. More errors. This is interesting. I didn't think I'd have to filter like that. Okay, no more errors. That's good. I'm just surprised that I had to fill. I thought that it would do that itself. Okay, still no errors. Still no errors. Let's just try to get them all off of the board and see if that works. It worked. That's a good sign. Awesome. Let me try an experiment. If I just keep clicking the same thing, does my pegs grow? And if so, that's a problem. Oh, I forgot to spell console correctly. So I'm just clicking the same spot a bunch of times. And each time we have an array of length 1. This is good. I'm happy for that. And that's probably due to the position is occupied function. Now let me make a tiny circle filled in. And now I'm clicking a bunch of times. And you can see that array is growing. Which is not good. Just to explain some of the performance issues that I'm having. The filling algorithm is all wrong. But that's okay, because in a way it's allowed me to stress test. In a way. Not in any kind of useful or measurable manner, but yeah. So if these positions are vec3s, then we can use the distance too. And it should be less than peg radius. Or equal to it. And then it should be removed. No, I don't think it's working. Let's just make it like less than 200. That's not even working. What numbers are we getting? What kind of number is that? Not a number? I bet you. I bet you we're not dealing with vectors. We have to be though. These are 3 JS objects. Position has to be a vec3, right? Right? Anyway, get rid of the other noise so we can hear what we're doing. Nothing? Nothing? Nothing. Wait. Seriously? Nothing. I mean, that would make sense. No, not all that. I mean, undefined, right? Definitely going to be undefined. Or there's an error. Interesting. Well then, fine, let's just console log P. What is P? Should be a 3JS object, right? And a lot of times it is undefined. But for the times that it's not undefined, we can call distance to peg. What is it doing there? Peg.position. It's weird. Alright, whatever. It did a little bit more than I wanted it to. I think that's fine. Because it should be p.position. Yeah, that looks good to me. P.position, not just P. I am happy that there are no more errors. I'm not happy that that literally never finds it. But let's change it to, again, a ridiculous number that should remove everything. Perfect. I think you can do that, technically. No? I guess not. That's fine. Let's put that back the way that it was. So, in some cases, this is less than 200, but it's not less than 0.1. What is the number? I guess I can just, yeah, I'll leave that in, and then I'll do console log here in the if statement. And then I'll go new, what is it, new peg.position, yeah, that, exactly, because I want to see that number. Nothing? Oh, wow. .3 whatever. Take a look at our geometry. See if we can make some sense out of this. All right. .125 whatever. That's about the coefficients, which probably should be the same height and width, to be honest. It's a square thing. So alright, so we should be comparing to the x coefficient. Do we already have that imported? No. Whatever. And then the remove one. And so the distance should be less than the x coefficient. Also, this should only be happening on click events. Should only be happening on click events, not on mouse move events. So I think what I want to do is over there on handle main, I'll do if holding control return false. Or just return. So Control Z right now is meant for deleting and undoing, which I think is cool. Now, obviously, I just want this to work. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. Oh, okay, so we can't do that in that way. Aha. But we can use is preview, since that's the one that's changing. There we go. Almost works. I have to click a little bit like to the right of it. But yeah. Let's see how it works for a big shape. Not reliably. That's the fill method though. It does work. If we use the regular just outline method, it kind of works. Possibly the refire timeout would help with that. Let's see. No. The problem is it's just adding circles over and over and over on top of each other. Yeah. But we are clicking to remove. I'd say it needs to be improved a lot. Let's see. Let's do this. First of all, I'm going to commit this because this I think works fine. Control click to delete. Pretty much works. There are other underlying bugs. I almost said features. That make this not work as good. And we may be able to take care of them now. So just as a quick experiment, let's console log these new pegs. Length. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Back to the game. Refresh. Make a circle, radius, whatever. A 5. A little smaller than that. Let's go 2. Just trust me. Alright. So that looks like what? 2 pegs, would you say? Does that look like 2 pegs to you? Let's see how many we actually have. 6. We actually have 6 pegs. Because of the filling method. Let's see if we can revise the filling method. How do you like when you define a shape? I guess there are several ways to do it. Two pi defines the arc. Two pi r is the circumference. Applying the arc to the second dimension gives you the two-dimensional object. Pi r squared, that gives you the area. It's not really relevant. Let's see what we're doing real quick. This is decrementing the radius by peg radius. Until it's less than 0. We're gonna figure this out in a few minutes. I have to be right back. Because if these, let's see, I have a cool BRB picture. Throw up there. Yeah, there we go. Alright guys, I'll be right back. getting ready to return. All right. This is the filled section here. I'm looking at this position as occupied function. And we have distance 2. And it's less than peg radius. Okay. First of all, I want to make that peg radius times 2. Second of all, this isn't going to work without this being a Vec 3. I don't know, that might be overkill, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see right now, actually. I'm noticing that strobing is a lot faster. I'm taking that as a good sign. Oh my god, that's hard to look at. It still doesn't work yet. Same experiment we did a moment ago. We still have the console log up here. A circle of radius 2. Number of pegs is 2. That's correct. That is correct. Let's make them compare the same way. The two functions, position is occupied, and this other one. We're comparing them to both to x coefficient, not divided by 2. That didn't work. It's not there that broke it. Excuse me. What was this before? Coefficient by 2? I'm not sure why that behaves like that. Should it be refired? Maybe? Is that unnecessary? Ooh, I like that. Yeah, okay. I really like that. Simplify that a little bit. No. I also want to show the preview. How are we going to do that? We're decidedly removing it here. I just think that on the same one, same function, we could maybe add the preview immediately after. Yeah, see how it's erasing like that? I do like that. Yeah, that's great. That works really great. It's almost done. It is almost done. Holding control to erase and hovering feels pretty good. Not gonna lie. One thing though, by the way, I'm committing this right away. I think everything about it is pretty great. I'd say that strobing needs to slow down, but get rid of this. Try something else too with this. Doesn't do much. Wait, did I break it? There we go. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It makes drawing a lot easier, huh? Let's demo that real quick. The rectangles of width, height. It's probably going to be fine, and then we'll fill them in. Yeah. Now let's take the width and make it 5. 4 rather. Take the height and make it 7. How about 9? Oh, freaking 9. Here we go. No. I'll try again. Definitely need to be able to undo. And then also, it looked like I was locked in on the control. That wasn't good. Rectangle filled in with rainbow colors. Let's make it just 10 by 10. Two spaces in between. One space in between. Now I'm in like removing mode forever. It's a problem. I think it happens on the Control Z. Alright, 10, 10. Filled with rainbow colors. Alright. And one more. Here. What, like 8 by 8? That's a bit of a problem. It's gonna be frustrating. Gotta get that fixed. Let's see. Yeah, ×2 is gonna be too much. Let's do just X. Set this up real quick before I disappoint myself. I'm gonna say that's still too much. There we go, that's perfect. That's perfect. For that shape, it's perfect. For point, it's not working. Not working for point, but for, well, those aren't even being removed at all. Probably have something else going on there. No. The first time something is working for a polygon. Oh, spoke too soon. Is it only working for rectangles? Yep. Man, is it working great for rectangles. Wonder why. Not working for circles yet. Not anything laid with circles or points. Just rectangles. Working amazing for rectangles. Yeah, it can't get any better than that with rectangles. Alright, perfect. What about a rectangle of 1? Does that work? No, because it's add point. Okay. Cool. Something to go by. What's weird is it's not. It must just be always returning false, right? It must just be always returning false. Yes. It's one of those things where something's broken and it looks like it's working. I think it's this part, to be honest. Maybe not. Oh, it was stuck in control mode. Interesting. The camera just went. So now I'm like, now it's like not returning as much pegs. It's really weird. Pretty weird, huh? What about for the rectangle? Does the rectangle still work? Yeah, rectangle still works great because it's broken. Peg.position.distance 2. Where does that? Let's get some console logs going on in here. Let's get it all console logged so we can see it. All right, and a point is fine too. All right, so here are our things that we're console logging right here. So we got array, vector 3 and 1, which should evaluate to truth. That's fine. In this array pegs, we are using .sum to return true or false if we have a peg that has a distance to the given position that is less than peg radius. And the given position that we're given is negative 0.724, 2.4. And the position of our thing here, negative 0.7, 2.4. So this should be returning true. But the problem is that we don't care anymore if the position is occupied at this level. We're checking at the other level. We don't even care. We want to get some occupied positions. Now, that's not to say that they're not going to be duplicated. Possible that we can just keep recursively passing the same array in to see if we've already occupied it. That might be what we do. For now, I just want to get this erasing working. Everywhere it goes out of here. It's gone. Bye bye. And there it is. Whoosh. Now it's gone. Whoosh. Now they're all gone. See what I mean? Very satisfying to erase those, I gotta be honest. Just like the Control Z, also a very satisfying feature. One thing that concerns me is, you know, this is not going to be serviceable for mobile devices, I don't think. I'll have a go with trying it, but I'm not very optimistic about it, I'll be honest. Alright. So, after cleaning this up, I think we're good to commit this and then call it a day. Commit this. What we're going to do is we're going to commit this, create one or two more issues, maybe several if I think of more. I don't think we're doing anything with selected color on this level. I'm not going to dork with it though. I'd like to stick to the task it in. So we had to remove all those position as occupied. I'm going to leave that function there because I think I am going to repurpose it. But for now, I'm just getting in the way. I'm going to do a little summary here too. I guess I gotta get the camera back going. I'm not even gonna do that. I'll do like a voiceover thing when I edit this video. I'm gonna do this quick demo though. Alright, that's enough. Alright, so the commit. This is not quite what I thought it would be. I thought it would be control click. But I wasn't immediately able to figure out how to fire the left click, right click events separately in the way that I had it set up. It's probably, if I restructured it, I'd make two different functions and have the whole thing handled quite differently, to be honest. First of all, I'd be using object-oriented from the get-go. Second of all, I would not be using JavaScript. But yeah, let's check out the issues. This is the one we did. All right. A little ambitious with this one, huh? Whatever. That's gonna... Rotating an image is gonna require a lot of restructuring. I think. Maybe not. Just remove the pegs. Perform the rotation. Redraw the pegs. I want to do something real quick though, if I can. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. I want to see if I can spell the channel name. I was trying to do it earlier. Big there, don't you think? come on. How come I can't remove those? Oh no. What? Oh, there we go. Something's going on, I don't know. Something's messed up with the Control Z. Kind of too depressed to try again. I was having such a good time. There's the C, almost. Kind of. Oh, damn it. Oh. Definitely some improvements need to be made. Yeah, pressing Control Z kind of leaves me permanently in delete mode, which is no bueno. So, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to dork with that right now. This was a successful day where we implemented removing pegs. Not quite the way that we wanted, but I think it's better. So, thanks for joining. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, follow on Twitch. We got the Discord community going. There's a link on the YouTube channel, on the Twitch channel. Follow that. Join up today. And look out for more random live streams, really. Alright. See you guys.